What's up, everybody? I'm Mckenty. This is my second channel, and this is your home for my Twitch highlights and my podcast. So if you like this and you want to see more of that and you want to join the live streams, there's a link to that in the description of this video. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Let's talk about the 2022 Grammy nominations because the list came out, and as usual, the rock and metal categories are sad. They are sad. There's no other way to put it. In general, I think awards shows are stupid and I don't really care about them. And I don't really think they matter all that much. Winning a Grammy is like a nice ego boost for the artist and their team, but it doesn't really make a difference to their career. It's not like winning a Grammy is suddenly going to put an artist over or make some genre that was sort of previously underground, like, oh, now that they won a Grammy, now this genre is important and everyone recognizes that it's great and blah, blah, blah. However, what I do think is interesting to look at is just sort of, it reveals what the industry thinks. And that's the important part because the Grammys are a product of the industry. The nominations and the votes come from people who are members of the Recording Academy. And you can see what the industry thinks about rock and metal, and it is sad, especially if you compare it to like the pop ones. Field 1 pop, best pop solo performance. We got Justin Bieber, Brandi Carlile, Billie Eilish, Ariana Grande, Olivia Rodrigo. So Olivia Rodrigo and Billie Eilish, I would categorize as relatively new artists. Ariana Grande, kind of, sort of. She's not a legacy artist by any means. So let's say 3 out of 5 are relatively new artists. As far as I'm concerned, it is a crime that the 10 Hours of Procedurally Generated Gent album didn't make it into the best contemporary instrumental album category. It's a crime. Like, this is not bad. Good news, guys. We're getting into the home stretch. We've got an hour and 40 minutes of Gent left. Here is what I wanted to focus on is Field 4. I don't know why they have it in fields like this. This is the best rock performance category. Number 1 is Shot in the Dark by AC/DC. Number 2 is Know You Better by Black Pumas. I don't know who Black Pumas is, but I guess they must be someone. Number 3 is Nothing Compares to You by Chris Cornell. Number 4 is Ohms by Deftones. Number 5 is Making a Fire by Foo Fighters. We can already see the problem here, right? I mean, these are, I don't know who Black Pumas is, so let's assume that they're good. But these are all good bands, right? Good artists. I don't have a bad thing to say about any of them. As much as I joke about Deftones, obviously they're a good band. The youngest band here is Deftones, and they came out in like 94. 25 years old. Well, actually, maybe Foo Fighters, I guess, came out in 97. Whatever. They're all like 25 years old. 90s, ACD started in like the fucking 60s, didn't they? 1971 or something. It's just sad. Comparing it to the pop category where you had Olivia Rodrigo, Lil Nas X, and Billie Eilish in there, who are young, fresh, new artists, you know, from this century that are obviously doing interesting, important things. The people who voted in that category recognize it. This would be like if the pop category was like Madonna, Pink, and Michael Jackson. You know, you'd be like, really? There's no other artists in the genre doing something more interesting? Like, you got to go back that far? Now, I don't know off the top of my head who I would put in the category of best rock performance. I'd have to think about it. But I guarantee you that there is somebody newer than Deftones, Foo Fighters, Chris Cornell, and AC/DC. And then best metal performance, we've got Deftones again. We've got The Alien by Dream Theater, Amazonia by Gojira, Pushing the Tides by Mastodon, and The Triumph of King Freak by Rob Zombie. Again, a bunch of 90s artists. I mean, Gojira maybe came out in the early 2000s. I don't know. But the point is, these are essentially legacy artists at this point. These people are all in their like 40s and 50s. And I mean, I'm in my 40s, so I'm not suggesting that there's anything wrong with age or that you should, you know, be thrown away or something like that once you reach a certain age. But there are so many other artists in metal who deserve to be nominated for a Grammy. Bring Me the Horizon should definitely be on that list. I didn't think about who I would put on there, and it's not about my personal opinions even. I'm just saying there is somebody new, like MGK is not on there. That's crazy. He definitely should be on there. I would arguably put Olivia Rodrigo on there, not metal and rock. Good for You in the best rock performance, because that is a rock song. It's fucking gigantic. It's way more relevant than anything that Deftones or AC/DC has done, that's for sure. You can use your imagination who you would put in there. I'm sure everybody has good picks, but the point is, Dream Theater, Gojira, Rob Zombie, Mastodon, and Deftones, great bands, but they're old. And this just tells you, because this is voted on by the members of the Recording Academy. And that's what I was said at the beginning. This tells you where the industry's head is at. This tells you what the industry cares about, what they think is important and significant. And what they've said is we are stuck in 2005 at the latest. It's sad. I've talked about this before, but this is a great festival. I'm not hating on it. I'm sure it's fun. But look at this. Korn, Staind, Cypress Hill at the top of the list. Korn and Cypress Hill were popular when I was in high school, and I graduated in 1996. Metallica, Jane's Addiction, and Rise Against. Metallica and Jane's Addiction. I saw Jane's Addiction in 1991. I saw them 30 fucking years ago. Nine Inch Nails and Snoop Dogg. Again, this is the stuff that was popular when I was in high school. And I graduated 25 years ago. Metallica, Judas Priest, Mudvayne, you get some newer artists like halfway down the bill, but like the newer artists on here are still 10 years old. And I understand why. I mean, they got to sell tickets, and this is what the fans want to see, especially in Kentucky. It is what it is. But my question is, like, how do we move things forward? Rock has become a nostalgia genre. It's sad. You could say that it's just the industry people who don't get it, and that's why they nominated these artists. But we know that's not true, because if you look at those festival lineups, the reason why they program those festival lineups the way that they do is because that's what people want to see. They got to sell tickets. That's what the fans want. They want to go see Nine Inch Nails and Cypress Hill like it's fucking 1994 again. If that's what you want, then so be it. But how could you not have MGK or Olivia Rodrigo on this list? I mean, Olivia Rodrigo is like the most popular new artist ever in the streaming era, ever. MGK went to number one. You can think what you want. You can think he's a douche. I agree. I think he's a douche. But the guy is doing significant things for the genre. And to ignore that, I think is just crazy. Best rock album. This is even worse. AC/DC, Black Pumas. Again, I don't know who they are. Chris Cornell, Foo Fighters, and Paul McCartney. I mean, Jesus Christ, Paul McCartney's a legend, but my fucking mom liked Paul McCartney when she was in high school in like 1962. It's sad. Best rock song, Weezer, Kings of Leon, Wolfgang Van Halen. At least that's sort of new. Sort of legacy artist by extension, but at least he's new. Then Paul McCartney and Foo Fighters. Again, it's just boomer shit. Yeah, Greta Van Fleet, exactly. Greta Van Fleet could have gone on there. I don't love them. Where's Little Richard? I don't love Greta Van Fleet, but at least they're not from the fucking 90s. Best alternative music album is Strange. Fleet Foxes, Halsey, Japanese Breakfast, Arlo Parks, and St. Vincent. I would not call St. Vincent or Fleet Foxes alternative. Halsey is a good one. That's the kind of artist that belongs on this list. She's relatively new. She's great. She's super popular, has like crossover appeal. Halsey is the kind of artist that we should be recognizing. So that's cool. So I guess the basic takeaway to me is that the 2022 Grammy nominations are unfortunately just another example of how stuck in the past rock is. We're still in 1999. Maybe even 1990. I mean, AC/DC was washed up when I was in high school. And again, I graduated 25 years ago. So to me, this is just another example of how sad it is that the rock industry is stuck in the past. What are we going to do? I don't know. I'm sick of saying this. I just keep saying it again and again and again. And it just seems like that's what rock is now. I don't know. If rock just continues to be stuck in the 90s and 2000s, like the fans are literally going to fucking die. The genre will disappear because the fans will literally die of old age. Benny Goodman for Best New Artist.